Welcome to Journey JavaFX. This is the season 2 episode number 17. In previous episode, we insert a new record from the UI, which is kind of one route behind the save button. So in this episode, we are going to working on the other route, which is the update record route behind the save button. Let's start. All right, quick save. To do that, we just need to complete this part. To do it is fairly simple. Basically, I'm going to do is make a copy of our insert class, because insert updates, they are considered the same, but I'm gonna call it update class. Instead of this, we just remove the dummy data part. We no longer need them in here. So let me make it bigger. So by saying update, I'm gonna say update by ID, right? And we also passing in a story model. We just need to replace this part. To get the query is quite simple. Just go to stories table, right click and say update. Once we have this template, we can just play with it. We are doing the update based on ID, right? So all the rest, they are just meaningless for us for now. And also, we don't need to change the ID itself. It's managed by the database. And also for the folder part, we don't want to change it. It's just my own thing. So all the rest will be updated. Okay, so now I'm going to make a copy of it, paste it into, that's the log, paste it into our notepad. Align them all, merge into one line, and then copy paste it here. We have a lot of things can be reused. Let me just rearrange them into a easier readable order. So you know, kind of being nice to ourselves, right? Okay, so we can reuse the int date, no problem. I'm gonna replace this with a question mark. Just to point out, you know, for this kind of value, it's a tag value. So in SQL script, we use a single quote. But for now, even if we replace the whole thing, including the single quote, it's okay, because the set string method will quote whatever the value we put it in. So it's pretty smart. Second one is tag, no problem. Title, we're gonna question mark it. And then is the folder, we're gonna remove it. We no longer need it. And then it's the hours, course, a question mark. And then the HTML, another question mark. And the content, another question mark. The ID, yes, we need to add a ID. Yeah, but the number should be rearranged. Let's say 5, 6. We're gonna add a 7 here. Statement.set. This one is int, and the number 7. This one gonna be story.get ID. Okay, so now we replace it with a question mark. So do a save. Let's do a double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. I think we are ready to update a record. Let's go back to controller. So for this route, we are sure, you know, the ID field is okay. What we are going to do is model.story equals to manager make model from UI, right? This manager will handle that for us. So we have the story object. So now we are going to do the update. So db.update by ID, we're passing in this story. All right, I think it's all done. Finger crossed, let's test it. Okay, to update a record, if no value, nothing gonna happen. Sorry about that. Nothing gonna happen. Oh no, we need to do more tests here. Anyway, let's try the update record part. So for this one, let's change the color into red, and this part change into blue. It's just easier to see, and change the number like 3, whatever. Even change the date to December the 1st. So now we are going to do a save. Okay, the whole thing not refreshed yet. I'm going to manually refresh it. Okay, the thing, you know, is down there because of the sorting of date. Let's click on it. Yep, we have the blue and the red. So the method is working. And this one, if it's greater than 0, then this is update. If it's not, then this. Oh, okay, I see. We need to put even more stuff here, but for that part we can do it in, well, we still have time. So then if the date and the name, okay, we're gonna add one more, greater than, else if let's say text title field dot get text dot length greater than, let's say 3, because, you know, 3-character word is pretty less meaningful. So yeah, it's just in case we have nothing in the title, and then it's gonna be an invalid record, right? Yeah, it makes sense, I think. Yeah, so it's kind of if we don't have the ID, then it's a new record. If it's a new record and the title is pretty short, then it doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's just a minimum safety kind of insurance. Let's do it again. So then in this way, if we don't have a value in title, just say like AA, then it won't work, right? So the tag, let's say test, and the folder is locked, perfectly fine, because we also need this title thing for the folder purpose in the future episode. Let's do a save. Yeah, nothing happened. When I do the refresh, shouldn't be, you know, something like AA inserted, just like this you know, dummy record. Let me do a refresh. Cool, it's not there. So then we just need to working on this part, making sure it's refreshed. But before that, we need to save the ID, right? Otherwise, we won't be able to populate it back. Make sense? So I'm gonna say integer int ID equal to text field ID dot get text, and I'm gonna parse it into a integer dot parse int this. So we save the ID first. Now we're gonna say button refresh, right? And we also gonna reuse this story equal to mgr, no, db.sql, no, db.select dot by ID, and then we pass in this int ID. Passing this in the ID, so we have the story. We're gonna call our manager again, manager dot populate, right? So in this one, we pass in the story. Looks like we can do something else. Let's say model dot story equal to now. And then we don't need to declare this part, because either way we are just reusing the same model, right? Yeah, looks like more efficient. So let's do it again. We'll refresh, and we're gonna let's say test testing insert from UI number 3. So this one is a new one. I'm gonna copy paste the thing to here. Let's make it Arial black 18. For some reason this one doesn't work either. Anyway, we're gonna test it later. Okay, now it's working. Probably something wrong with the font. Anyway, so now looks good. Let's make it whatever, some interesting color, and do a save. Okay, it's there. Because of it's the third one, of course it's gonna be lower. Let's update it into any color else. Add a background color. Let's say this color. All right, let's do a save. Okay, it's automatically selected, right? Yeah. Now I think we complete the mission of this episode. I'm gonna see you in the next one.